I think it makes more things possible that are just really hard today.
When you look at, for example, rolling out a feature like wait times in restaurants, which most restaurants do not have right now. I mean, I know because even last week I went to the In-N-Out because Shake closes before In-N-Out. I went to the In-N-Out to get my burger, and the line was out the door, and I was like, nope, not going to stay. So it's a neat feature. How does it change customer behaviors, and how does it change the way you interact with the customers when you can give them that kind of transparency and granular data?
So it's really early. We rolled it out earlier this year, so too early to get any specific results. It's obviously something we're looking at to be able to answer that, but yeah, not something I can answer now.
Okay. Have you been able to do new, more agile things around like adding menu items or testing or feedback loops? Or, I mean, I'm kind of curious as you build the system out, and I know this is still early, but what's the goal here? Or things that you could do that you couldn't do before, really.
You know what? It's a journey. There's still a lot of things on our list that we want to be able to do. So we have a long list. I think I think understanding it certainly helped us understand guest preferences and what they want. I need to think about that more to give you a better answer. I think it's allowed us to offer more convenient options for sure. So I guess an example I used from early on in the pandemic is that start of the pandemic, we did not offer curbside pickup. Having the digital infrastructure and the team, which is the flywheel to create the capability, allowed us to go from sort of concept to pilot in 8 to 10 weeks on curbside pickup as an option, right? Yeah. So the digital ecosystem allows more rapid innovation in the moment. So that's kind of one example. And as you can imagine, there was a stage in the pandemic, lest we all forget, where you couldn't go into a restaurant, you couldn't go anywhere. So that kind of thing became really important for our business. I think the other one I look at is we build our own kiosk. That is, it's an iOS app that sits on a 13-inch iPad Pro. We were able to take that app, put it on an iPad mini, put it in a team member's hand, and take orders outside. So, and that was something that we were able to do in a matter of days, right? So, I think just for me, I can think and give you a better answer in terms of some of the guest benefits. But I think as a technologist, the strategy we've been following gives us flexibility and a fleet of foot that's very hard to have. If we didn't have that flywheel today, it would have been very hard to create the capabilities that the business needed in the timelines that we did.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm curious also, like, how fast can you stand up a store, for example, as compared to like what you used to have to do, or how many fewer moving parts are there, things like that?
Right now, there's I think that the restaurants have become much more tech-centric than I'm sure they were a few years ago. I mean, this is my first restaurant gig. I've been with the company 3.5 years, so I'm not as versed in the history as some. But I would say in my tenure, we've been putting more and more technology into restaurants, really to power these digital experiences. Right. And that's what's really driven it. And obviously we want it reliable and scalable and fast and all of those things. So that's actually driven a bit more. Over time, I think as these things become more cloud oriented, we'll be able to shrink that up again. So that's kind of that piece. And obviously that the network has actually become all important at the restaurant.
Talk to me a little bit about that too. So, I mean, I know this through the grapevine that at some of the very large coffee retail or coffee shops, they